This is a video I took in Goodman in 1999 when we went up there for a visit. Goodman, of course, was my hometown from 1934 to 1943, from ages 2 to 11, so I've got many fond memories of it. And this is just a nostalgic swing through it. What we're looking at, the opening here, is Houghton's cottage. Houghtons were a family in Goodman that Mr. Houghton was the manager of the Goodman Lumber Company, and my dad ran the Goodman Lumber Company store in Goodman, and they were good friends, and so we were often out at their cottage on Lake Hilbert. So with that, we'll just start playing here and take a nostalgic swing through Juneau, or boy, what's through Goodman, Wisconsin. I get this thing rolling. There it goes.
There's a bathtub out here with flowers in it, no? But we didn't really associate with them. Right to the lower left is where the dock is. The dock is out now. That's where it goes. It's a beautiful day. This lake is gorgeous. You can see to the bottom, as far out as you can look. Beautiful, peaceful lake. I can hear a loon in the background. View looks to the swimming beach we used to go to, and now it's some sort of town park. And about midway there is where the boat tipped over, and I almost lost my life, but didn't. There's the beach, and there was a little drop out there we had to be careful of. And we could never swim until a half hour after we ate, otherwise we'd get a cramp and die. There's a building I remember somewhat of, still standing. Uh-huh. This tavern is, this used to be Picard's Tavern, that was the name of it. Goodman welcomes you to our community. This is the Houghton's house, the house on the hill. He managed the Goodman Lumber Company. I asked my mother one time how much he made, and she said, probably makes about $400 a month. I was pretty impressed with that. Just looking down the hill from Houghton's, and you can see the church down at the end of the road. Houghton's house from the front. This is the old Doc's house, now occupied by Kenny Edelbeck, I guess. There's Edelbeck. Goodman Lumber Company store that my dad managed, and has been closed for a while. Now a guy named Gary from Wasaki is trying to make something out of it. Apartments upstairs and kind of a store and stuff downstairs. He took Kay and I throughout this whole store. I rode the old elevator that I remember. We're upstairs where our apartment was, down in the basement and everything. It's very junky, but he's getting it going, and I wish him well. Another shot of the store across on the other side, and as I pan over here, there's the Goodman Town Hall now, but it used to be the gas station, and it was operated by a mechanic by the name of Chief Oshkosh, and there were pumps out in front, and that was a gas station. Beyond that, I'm going to get closer now. This is the Goodman Bank. Lyman Dirks eventually operated that. I guess he owned it. But like everything else in this town, from the beginning, it was owned by the R.B. Goodman, the owner of the Goodman Lumber Company, and there was only one of each in town. And here, but this is the old World War I memorial, across the street from the gas station, and been here forever, since 1919. Here is the famous Goodman Clubhouse. Right in the front there used to be the, let's see, how did that work? I think that was where you went into the movies, but the post office was somewhere around there too, so I'm not quite sure. The actual clubhouse part was that door down there. We used to go in there, and there was nothing like a afternoon sitting at the counter having a malted milk, a little bag of potato chips, and a new comic book. Life didn't get any better than that in Goodman. Up the clubhouse, you saw these houses, and I don't know who lived in there, but Alice probably does. And here's St. Joan of Arc's church. St. Joan of Arc. Where I made my first communion and went to catechism class. There's the Demore's old house. Goodman rocks. There's that one, and that one, and that one. Now I'm going to go over and climb on them now. Hey! We used to throw cherry bombs right against that wall down there and shoot arrows with. There's a big jump from here to here. This is looking down Mill Street, and this is the Rathskeller where Kay just went to go to the bathroom. We'll go back there later. 3 houses that were next with ours. I don't know who that was. Was that Vogel? Alice will know. And there was Baker's house, and then ours, which has changed a lot. And as you go over here, this is Bill Demore's, the dentist's house. There was another dentist before that. The old house. It's had new siding on it, and the porch closed in. And it's pretty junky around there. It really was a nice house before. Here's the front of it. This maple tree. It's just a little fella. It was planted, I believe, when we were here, because they dug up the sewer. And robins used to nest in there. Here's the old garage, and that's pretty much the same it used to be. There's the back of Baker's house, but I don't know how well it can be seen in the sun. Hey, look. My memory pops out. This field is across the street from the back of our house. Tommy Hilton and I used to go out here and shoot arrows in the sky, straight up. So they'd go out of sight and then come straight down. Lucky it didn't hit one of us. I had to go to the bathroom in that field one time, and Tommy Hilton taught me how to lay on the ground facing the other way and open my pants and go laying down. Worked out pretty well. At Demore's house. This is the lodge at Goodman Park. And there's the river. This is the rapids. I understand that Alice went down with some Indian in a canoe or some boat. It looks pretty hairy to me. I guess it scared my parents too. It's a beautiful river. This is the Peshtigo River. That's just been added recently. And that is Goodman Park. All right, this is the old Peacock's Tavern, and it's operated by Bill and Teresa Ebert. And that's Teresa Ebert down there. And Bill's going to come in, and I'm going to ask him where Leola is, because she was a friend of Alice. This is Bill Ebert. He's the brother of Leola. And Bill, where is Leola now?
Leola's in Elgin, Illinois.
And how long has she been there? She got kids, or what's her situation?
Well, she's married. She's got 3 grown daughters. Retired nurse. Her husband's retired mason. And they have a summer place up around the Dells, Wisconsin Dells.
All right.
She's been living in Elgin for forever, I guess.
And what's
we're in Illinois.
And how old is she?
She would be about 69.
Okay, that's my, yeah, okay. That's Alice's age. So, well, anyway, say hi from Alice Steebles and her little punk brother, who she never paid any attention to, Billy. The night of frivolity, we are at Richard's Motel in Dunbar, where we stayed. We had a good time last night. And now we're going to go to church, and the old people are go there, and then they go to this restaurant we're going to go to eat. And look what's up here. My God. The geese are heading north. It's going to be another beautiful day in the Goodman area. Look at those suckers.
Gospel of the Lord. Praise to the Lord Jesus Christ. In this holy mass we pray for the following intentions: for the national and political leaders for peace in the world, for the women and the serving the armed forces, we pray for the world, Lord, and mercy, for the hope, the kindness of the bishops, for an increasable patience, we pray for the world, Lord, and mercy. Christ is risen, Christ will come again. Father, we celebrate the memory of Christ your Son. We are people and ministers to call his passion, his resurrection from the dead. Remember, Lord, those who have died and have gone before us not with the sign of faith, especially those for whom we now pray. May these and all who sleep in Christ find in your presence life, happiness, and peace. For ourselves too, we ask them share in the fellowship of the apostles and martyrs, and John the Baptist, Stephen the valley pardons, Elizabeth, the Bethlehem Abbot of Lucy, Agnes, Cecilia, and Anastasia, and all of us. Though we are sinners, we trust in your mercy.
I remember this. Well, we just got out of Mass, and we're talking to some ladies who are from the old days. Women older than I, some in their 70s. One's a sister-in-law to Bob Gustisha, and the other one is an Anderson. She says she was one of the Anderson twins, but I don't remember them.
Goodman. The lumber companies which created many of the communities in northern Wisconsin have passed from the scene, but the villages remain, monuments to the hardihood and persistence of the residents who worked and lived in these communities. Goodman was a company town founded in 1908 by the Goodman Lumber Company, which owned 100,000 acres of woods surrounding the village. Unlike other company towns outbound, Goodman continues to flourish. Many wood and brick buildings were erected. The first building, a hotel, was built in 1908. A large steam-driven sawmill was completed in 1909. In subsequent years, the company built a department store, office, clubhouse with bowling alley, a movie theater, bank, high school, grade school, and over 100 homes. Unlike some former sawmill towns, now ghost towns, Goodman survived by adapting to change. Selective cutting replaced clear cutting. The company sawmill still exists. A veneer plant was built in later years. The original stand of trees and the people who cut them are gone, but the town, mill, and surrounding woods remain.
And this is the old ranger station. Roger Lotto's dad ran this, and we played around outside here. And as you circle over, you come to Mud Lake, now called Clark Lake. And this is a spring-fed lake that has bogs floating all around it. Of course, we used to play around there a lot because it wasn't that far from the house. Had a muddy bottom, and it was purported that if you sunk into the bottom, you would keep going down and down and down and never stop. And that kept us from swimming in there for quite a while, but finally we had permission. This is Clark Lake, and it used to be Mud Lake. This can be seen, but there used to be a dock right here we went out on, and I can look and see the remnants of it on the bottom. Don't know if it shows in the camera. Beautiful Mud Lake. Way on the other side there are the bogs, I believe, that are up against the shore, and sometimes they float all around the lake. A lot of beauty around here that I didn't recognize when I was a kid. There's the old sewer line expanse. And the road that goes out toward Armstrong Creek, west on Highway 8. And this is Dick Miller's house. Many a time I was in there. And this is the one that was moved from next to ours. In this street here, we played ball on. This is coming down the hill from Bibby Berg's house. And here's the new Protestant church. The old one burned down years ago, I guess.
Good Union Protestant Church.
Good Union Protestant Church, okay. And I think this is the hill where the high school is on. Yeah, there's the old gym in back of it. And then right to the right here is where the old grade school was. And the high school, or the grade school now, which is the Armstrong Creek Goodman School District, is right there. And that's where the old hotel used to be. And the new high school is over behind the church there. And go take a look at that. Here's the new school. And it's behind the church. Here's the old St. Joan of Arc's priest house where Father Linsmeyer was, and we visited him every once in a while.
Current priest probably stays.
He had that little coin thing that you put a coin in its hand and put the money in its mouth. That's the kind of stuff I remember. No, I don't think priests stay here, Kay. I think they're visiting. Maybe he does live here, but it's they go between parishes, you know. So we don't know where we are. I'm not sure, but I think this is the neighborhood where the Giroux lived. Somewhere around. Might have been over this way. If Frida Giroux ever sees this, she can tell us. Can you steer for me? Here are shots of the old mill. I don't know how this compares with how things were then, but it was in these areas that there was an awful lot of lumber. Still is. I guess it's a pretty going concern. Off in the background there you'll see the little stores, to get an idea of where we are. This is the back of the school now, the grade school. Taking a picture of all this wood stacked up to dry. Because this is no different than it used to be. The old days of Goodman, they had all this stuff stacked up. And I'm looking from the hill down in the back of the store and the garage. And the clubhouse down there. Right, here we come down the street where I lived. There's our house over there. And Gomber's house, and one of these is Rosencrafts. I don't know who's. That must, okay, and here's was the dentist. We used to go in here to go to the dentist. God, I hated that. There's the new post office over there now. The old post office used to be in the clubhouse. We're going to turn left here.
There's a car coming.
I got it. And we're pan over here to the entrance to the clubhouse. And there's to the theater and also to the post office. This building was built to represent or to look like Mount Vernon. We're about to leave Goodman. That green sign there says Business District. Kind of an ambitious sign. White House is White's, and as you drive in town here on Highway 8 going east to west, our house is the one you run into. Way down there. And quite a bit remodeled. Alright. These are some really old Goodman folks are. These are names that I recognize, are people that I knew or people that I knew. That's Kathy Miller's dad, Carl Duda, I'm almost sure. It's Uncle Ed and Viola. Gusticia, this is probably Bob Gusticia's folks. Maybe an uncle. Michael and Alma Vogels. Alma Vogels still alive, I guess. George Houghton, Mr. Houghton. And here's Mom's friend Ethel. Just died a few years ago. 100 years old. There's Reuben Oshkosh. He ran the store when we lived there. Not ran the store, he ran the gas station, the garage. Hetfield. Crafts. Mary Ebert. It's their son Bill we were at their tavern last night. Who runs that tavern? Calcoven. I can't believe how many names I remember. Weinfurter. Here's a especially meaningful one to me, Art and Amanda Miller. Good friends of my parents and their son Dick, my good friend. Patro, another name from the past. La Chapelle, I remember that name. Goodman, unincorporated, and now we bid it adieu. And we head east on Highway 8 out of town as we just came from 10 Acres. And we'll be going to Pembine, turning right and going down to Green Bay, but we'll make one stop at the 8 High that you see off in the distance there. And just take a photo opportunity. This road has just been rebuilt, redone. It's just beautiful. On the way to Dunbar last night, we must have saw 15 or 20 deer, right, Kay? Yep. Coming up on 8 High. Like to spend a little time having a drink there, but the hour is wrong. It used to just be a tavern, now it's kind of a store and whatever.
Do we need any Bob?
I don't think so. Any trip to Goodman would not be complete without a trip through Dunbar, and I'm just about out of film, and no, I'm not. I don't know why that thing went off, but anyway, here's Dunbar. There's Richard's Motel where we stayed, and that was Dunbar.
What show